The Aboriginal tradition behind the spear is composed of skill, culture, and a close identity with the Australian region. Today I have for you a compilation of research regarding the Australian Aboriginal tribes, their emotions, social customs, and a little about the Aboriginal spear. The spear has been primarily used for two things: hunting and fighting. Hunting big game in the region has been a shared culture due to its reliability. Spears are composed of a long wooden shaft and accompanied by detachable barbs as points. There are prehistoric documents of the spear being used for hunting. The Australia's northwestern wilderness is home to the Kimberley Rock Art Sequence, a well-preserved body of rock art. According to Funkhauser et al. And O'Connor, there is an excavated evidence of a 40,000-year minimum of sequential span. Notice the human form in this image. Archaeologists are super interested in the lengthy depiction of the human form. Though often male-dominated, here is a section of the sequence of women from the irregular info-animal period, a sect of stylistic form within the rock art sequence that depicts themed dominance of animals, fish, and yams. This painting of women is very unique, as most human figures were rare, as well as weapons. Yet here are some short, simple spear shafts, impaling the women in the back, buttocks, and mouth, as described by Walsh and Morwood. Note the lack of, or possibly underappreciated, spear points or attachments. Although the spear has little chance of survival in the archaeological record, these rock paintings serve to aid the evident spear culture that continues today throughout the more contemporary document of the Australian Aborigines. As aforementioned, most spears are wooden. The Winta and Kulata are two basic classes of Western Desert Aboriginal spears. The Winta, a barbless thrusting spear, is mainly a fighting spear, and the Kulata is used in hunting as well as fighting. Both acts benefit from the barb point. Near limestone flats and along creek beds, straight branches, roots, or trunks of trees are sought for the best throwing spear. In this region, the mulga tree. Eyeing for quality is definitely a skill. Once chosen, the outer bark is removed and stripped. You can use your teeth for this, and trimming for appropriate length is done with a stone scraper, or pur pumpa. Any bends in the shaft are to be removed by a heating process. A bed of ashes or coals is laid and used to heat moisture and set the straightening of the spear. You want to use your foot to press down while using your foot to press down and using your hands to lift around it, as seen in this image by Gould. Some embellishment has since occurred to the spears. Behind the necessary craft of shafts are the attachments and spear points. Among the most interesting weaponry is the death spear, out of the Cape York Peninsula, also known as the dread spear. Its name is derived by the reputation it had on the Europeans, as well as the nasty wound it could leave. In some cases, the spear is altered and cut with grooves to hold in jagged pieces of stone, sometimes even European glass. The stone chips and glass are said to simulate the attachment of shark teeth. From Sydney to Gascoyne, this was documented to have been distributed along the southern coast of Australia. Some knives have also been said to be crafted this way, including the addition of gum layer as adhesive. Note the composite spear. These stone-headed spears have been linked off the Gulf of Carpentaria, located in the northern part of the continent. Identified by its pressure chipping and elliptical cross-section, the stone-headed spear has been diffused eastward into northern Australia and southeastern into central Australia. Blades have been imported and traveled and carried as far south, nearly 100 miles from the nearest manufacturer. There are three types of barbs, which are detachable, as described by Davidson. There are those made of wood and which derive two varieties, the wooden round cross-section and the wooden flat cross-section. The third barb variety is made of bone. As the name describes, these attachments can be added to a wooden shaft. I suppose they can be reusable if repossessed. The most serviceable of the three is the bone barb. Due to its solidity and strength, it causes durability in the wilderness. Its use is documented by Davidson to concentrate in Queensland and Cape York Peninsula. The bone barb serves as both a detachment as well as a spear point. I'm going to now shift the conversation towards aggression and fighting. Because the Australian Aborigines continue to use the spear, they have become a reliable weapon. They can be used to cause threat, especially if it can be reputed for quality and craftsmanship. We will be talking about emotions and how they have been studied with the help of Australian tribes. In the northern Queensland is the sect known as Cape York Peninsula, home to the Wik-Munkan tribe in Aurukun. They were joined by David McKnight in Aurukun. With the help of the Wik-Munkan tribe, they established an ethnographic documentation of how kin interact during argument. Some arguments lead to fights, with or without weapons. Most fights occur between men for various reasons, which we will discuss in a bit. Women also fight and argue between each other, join in other quarrels between men. Some of the reasoning behind other arguments are a variety of disrespect, petition for wives, sexual jealousy, adultery, or disrespect of the dead, behavior of children, gossip, and sorcery. Although no killings happen, it has occurred that some injuries needed serious medical attention and have been helicoptered out. Some of the fighting was done in boxing events, as seen as by the anthropologists, and mostly among the younger men. The elder men, however, would fight with more traditional weapons, including spears, clubs, or just hands. There are warm-up periods that include insults and verbal challenges. The tongue biting is seen as well as a taunt and is received as a scold. Voices are raised and attention is given, and this is often what attracts a crowd. It is said that sorcery is used during the fights. People have been noticed to slip into their homes and gain magic, be it for their weapons or on their hands. Magic is said to benefit the fight and deem a winner in the duel. It is believed to make someone more powerful than the other. But most fights documented by McKnight have ended in lessening. Fred Myers studied with the Pintupi people and wrote about the universality of emotions, specifically anger, and its recognition among different people. Along with studies by Carol Tavares, it is cited in her study regarding anger that talks about anger being an emotion that have shown a sense of ought, and that others are responsible for your respect. Although compassion is the heavy aspect of the Pintupi culture, known as Nagaltu, anger and fighting are encouraged. It is okay among the tribe to become angry, as it shows autonomy or a relatedness to kinship and quality control. This has been my presentation. Thank you for your time.